This is number 10 in the Reflections of Life series. It's called, You Wanted More Than Anyone Can Give. You know, many of us in life always want things to be perfect, although it never works out that way. There are some of us who want and demand perfection in other people. First of all, what is perfection and how do we describe it? We all have different ideas, views, and thoughts about perfection. In every phase of our lives, there are degrees for everything we see, touch, and feel in life. When we look at other people, we look for certain degrees of perfection in that person. Degrees of beauty, degrees of intelligence, degrees of character, and the degree of their disposition and outlook on life. These variable degrees of perfection you look for in other people will determine the way you judge that person and how that person rates with you. Why do we expect a certain degree of perfection in others when we ourselves fall so short when using the same criteria? It is because we cannot see ourselves as others see us and don't recognize our own shortcomings and imperfections. Many of us demand degrees of perfection in others, which many times are unreasonable, unfair, and irrational. I am sure you would feel the same way if you were being judged by the same standards. We somehow feel if the other person is going to be a part of your life, you expect them to have a certain degree of perfection. You may have no idea of the devastating mental and emotional pressure you are putting on the other person when you expect perfection. You are expecting another person to live up to your ill-advised and destructive model of perfection. I am sure you have no idea of how much harm and emotional damage you are doing to the other, especially in a marriage or a romantic relationship. Your mate may try to please you by trying to live up to your ill-advised and psychologically damaging expectations of perfection. These kinds of reckless and unfair demands can put that person on a slippery slope by which human emotions sometimes hang by a thread. The relentless pressure you put on the other person can sometimes cause that thread to unwind. Your actions can cause your mate to suffer from severe mental depression, a nervous breakdown, and even thoughts of suicide. Make no mistake, you are inflicting the most serious kind of mental abuse. No matter what they do to please you, it's never enough. I'm going to tell you about someone who gave up after years of trying to live up to the other person's idea of perfection. When asked about this situation, her answer was, "You wanted more than anyone could give." Knowing she could not take any more, these words were found in her suicide note. "I gave you my heart, my mind, and my soul, yet it wasn't enough for you. You shattered my soul. You destroyed my life. You said I didn't have a clue. I tried to change to be the way you wanted. You are the reason I live. No matter what I did, it was never enough. You wanted more than anyone can give. I gave you 3 beautiful children. I did everything you asked me to do. You have too many faults, you said to me. You left and said we were through. How can I tell those beautiful little kids I no longer have a reason to live? They will grow up with no mother at all. You wanted more than anyone can give."